All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all you veterans and beautiful people that love you some veterans. Hey, welcome to another episode, Heart of the Volunteer Veterans Podcast. This is your Monday mandatory motivation, and we got Evan McDonald co-hosting today. So come on, join the show. Man, it sound like breaking, like electric boogaloo. Evan, are you there, brother?
Yes, I am here calling in from my front porch. Great day in Eugene, Oregon. Life's good.
Heck yeah, man. Welcome to the show, my friend. Episode number 1 for you. I think you've got...
Hey, this is great, man.
Yeah, you're going to have some longevity on the show, man. You've got insight that needs to be heard. We're going to get it out there. But what else is going on, man? What else is going on?
Oh, like I said, great day here.
Yeah.
You know, something for another episode, but little taste is great day dancing, tango dancing.
Yeah.
You know, went out there and crushed it today. It's good.
How long do you spend each time you go and do the tango? How long is that, time-wise?
It depends on the night. Some nights it's an hour. Some nights it's 2 hours.
Wow.
You know?
Now, do you go in just regular clothes that are just comfortable, or do you have like a, kind of a tango outfit that you wear?
Oh, come on.
No,
I go in regular clothes. Yeah.
No, I didn't.
I got you. No,
I'm just thinking like, every time I've seen like a movie with tango practice in it, they're wearing like the, the get up, and they're practicing it, so I don't know.
No, I wear street clothes. I do have some special tango shoes,
Right.
But yeah, it's street clothes. Today was pretty hot. Gets pretty hot in there dancing around. So just some jeans and a tank top.
So are you working towards like doing a competition, or is this just for you?
This is for me and my wife.
Yeah.
It's it's actually something that I bought her and myself lessons as a birthday present for her.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, this is just something that's going to make her happy. She's going to have fun. And when the class is over, that's it. We're done.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell you, it just sucked me in. 3 classes in, it was like, this is my jam. This is it.
Yeah, I do, man.
So, I picture, any of the guys from back in the day listening to this podcast, they're probably going to have a hard time wrapping their mind around that, but yep.
Well, hey, man, like you were
Good
saying,
times.
It's like, everybody has, the little hacks, for a good transition, to maximize their recoveries. And, we're going to talk about it in future episodes, man, but you're using, that as one of your programs.
Yeah. This is like the thing for me.
Yeah.
It really is. But yeah, we can save that for a later date, huh?
Yeah. Cause there's going to be some more folks, man. You may get, it may not just be you on the show. If there's other veterans out there that like the tango, get them on the show with you at the same time.
I'll take my moment here to say, any veteran, go out there, give it a shot. Your wife will love it. If you don't have a wife, the chicas love it. Great way to meet women. And, if there's any veterans out there besides myself in Eugene, Oregon, I'll pay for you to give it a shot.
Cool. Hell yeah.
I will pay for you.
How much that usually costs, man? Lessons there.
Well, they charge $15 a lesson, but me and my wife, we got the discount deal, so we pay $10 a piece. So
okay,
pretty reasonable. Yeah.
So you could get him a veterans discount there. Probably worth
I probably could.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Good deal.
Yep. And I'm always recruiting. Always recruiting.
Well, hey, make sure you share this episode all across Eugene in the veteran, in VFW, any other kind of veteran organizations. You'll get some people reaching out to you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. You know, another great one. My wife was telling me she works with a couple of veterans, and she works with parents of military, and she's been sharing this podcast with them. So,
good,
pretty
deal,
awesome.
Man. Sweet, thank you. Tell your wife thank you. Very cool. All right, well, Evan, hey man, this is like your first time on, bro. How about just kind of give all the listeners kind of some of your background. I mean, we'll have you on for a SOG episode. But, for the time being, kind of give them a little bit of your background, and then, man, the show is yours, man. Let's talk about whatever you got on your mind.
Okay, great. Yeah. I think we already kind of hammered out what this is going to be about. So I guess the best place to start is the beginning. I'm not going to really start at the beginning, but I'll start at the beginning of kind of my experience as far as that went. So I can't help myself. No shit. There I was.
Right. Hell yeah.
So it all kind of started going to Korea, my first duty station. I went to Korea with first the 506.
Right.
At the time, part of second ID, of course. Was in Korea for just a few months, and we came down on orders to go to Iraq. And I think as we talked before, I was telling you the story about how the rumors were flying. When I got to Korea, everybody was saying, oh, this is a great duty station. It's a lot of fun. And if you're in Korea, at least one thing guaranteed, you don't have to worry about going to Iraq. Because, they don't deploy people from Korea to Iraq.
Yeah, because you're holding down
a couple months.
DMZ. And
yeah.
Yeah,
and we're at Camp Greaves across the river, right up on the DMZ. So it's like, yeah, this is our thing. This is what we're doing. We're not going anywhere. So rumors start flying that we're deploying to Iraq, and our battalion commander holds a formation, and he's telling us, you got to squash that. We're not going anywhere. We're in Korea. They've never deployed a unit from Korea to a combat zone. I don't know where these rumors are coming from, but it's got to end. Less than 24 hours later, we have another battalion formation, and this time, commander gets up there and he's like, "Okay, so we're going to Iraq."
Oh man!
It's like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me! 24 hours ago, you're just assuring us, it's important enough to have a battalion formation to reassure us you're not going anywhere.
Right.
So pretty short train up, really. I want to say it's probably like a 3-month train up there in Korea. And, from the time we got the word, 3 months later, our battalion sent to Iraq, split between Ramadi and Habanea. I was sent to Habanea, old British airfield, some history behind it. And then, when the British left, the Iraqis took it over, and that's where we ended up.
You said half your battalion?
Yep.
Your battalion was split? Yeah.
Yep.
So what was that like, man? Like, I know a lot of units, they were like, they didn't get a chance to train on vehicles, and didn't get a chance to go to NTC. How was that, man, coming from Korea, going into into the Iraq environment of driving open, you know what I mean? What was the difference there?
Well, for me personally, it was, I was too young and stupid to really understand what was going on. I was just hey, Roger, and do whatever I got to do.
Yeah.
Whatever I'm told to do. But, looking back on it all, it was kind of a struggle for the whole unit,
Yeah.
I guess you think about traditionally units are going to deploy, of course, from the United States, and there's going to be a rear D, and stuff's going to be worked out, and plans are going to be in place. But there was nothing like that, you know.
Well, didn't you guys, weren't you scheduled to redeploy to Fort Carson at the end of your deployment, right? You weren't going back to Korea.
Yep, that's what the plan was.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
Yeah.
Yep. But, you know, as far as families and spouses go in a traditional deployment, you know, there's rear detail they can get information from. There's different kind of support groups for the spouses and families, you know, but we really didn't have any of that. And it was kind of just shooting from the hip, trying to figure out what was going on.
Man.
So
what?
Yeah, a lot of.
So
go ahead.
No, as far as like your guys' mission there, what was the mission? Like your primary focus, like your day to day. Do you remember that?
Mostly it was keeping that MSR that ran through in, you know, between Ramadi and Fallujah.
Mm-hmm. What was the name of that? You remember?
Open. Man, I cannot remember for the life of me. I want to say maybe Route Michigan, but I can't be sure.
Yeah.
You know, I guess too many deployments. Maybe Michigan was from another one, but it was that main hardball that ran between Ramadi and Fallujah.
Right.
So, yeah, it was, you know, like I said, it was a lot of shooting from the hip and trying to figure stuff out as we went. I mean, comparing that to my second tour, that first tour was kind of crazy, you know. We'd go out and we'd do patrols. We called them Mad Max patrols in two Humvees, you know, just two Humvees rolling up and down, you know, for 8 hours out on this MSR, just trying to draw fire.
Really?
And that's all it was just.
Now, when you say you had two vehicles out there driving around drawing fire, did you have other vehicles?
Go ahead.
Did you have other vehicles like on standby in case you did make contact that they would, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there was, I can't remember what unit it was, but there was a tank unit that was there, and they were usually pretty good about when we got hit, getting up to us pretty quick.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that sounds crazy, man.
I think, you know, it was a long time ago, and I was a private, but the way I understood it is you send the two trucks out and you man those trucks pretty light because you didn't want a bunch of people getting hit all at once. So, you know, a lot of times it would just be driver, gunner, TC, you know, 6 dudes and 2 trucks rolling around. And the whole purpose was just to try and get hit. And then when you got hit, you called the tanks in.
So, you know, you get hit like you're talking about with an IED or like, you know, small arms fire and things like that, or both? Just contact in general?
Both. Yeah, just contact in general. I think like the one that pops into my head is I think that we took the first vehicle-borne IED in that AO.
Wow.
So that was kind of a significant thing.
Yeah.
Craziness, just craziness.
Anybody get hurt on that?
No, it was kind of an insane thing. Look up and dude just runs right. And I'm driving. I'm sitting in the driver's seat. We're parked by the side of the road. Dude runs right into it. Car blows up. Our truck just totally destroyed. And, you know, there's like no steering wheel left. You know, the radio's gone. The thing's just trashed. And I'm just sitting there completely unharmed, you know?
You got lucky there, man.
Oh, man, I tell you what, though, is that truck's on fire. Me and my gunner are coming to blows trying to get out of the truck. You know, we're fighting each other to try and get out the TC's door.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny, you know. Got out of the truck, jumped up and took off running. Of course, I'm pretty scared at that point and immediately fall on my face. Jump up, take off running again, immediately fall on my face. So I'm thinking, okay, Evan, don't try running, just calmly walk away. So I kind of just calmly walk away, and I'm not falling. And I try running again, and I fall down. I fall on top of a leg. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, that's my leg. That's why I keep falling down.
What?
Of course. Yeah, that's what I was telling myself, because I could see this leg there, and I kept falling down. And I'm like, don't look at your leg, Evan. Don't look at your leg. Don't look at it. You don't want to see that it's gone. Get up and calmly walk away. My brain's not working right. And of course, my leg's perfectly fine. I just had stuff tangled around my feet that was causing me to trip. But when I landed on that leg, I was like, oh my God, this is it for me. So
a V-bed hits your vehicle, detonates, and that's all you have is just kind of banged up a little bit. You know.
Yep. Not a single person got hurt.
Wow.
Truck was totally destroyed. Like, we immediately got into a firefight after that.
Yeah.
Lasted about 45 minutes, got off that main route, got into the back alleys, and then we came out 45 minutes later, looked at the truck, and I was like, what, how's that possible? There's nothing left of it. You know, how did we get out of that?
Got lucky,
we did,
brother.
So yeah, that's all good, you know.
Was it always that way, man? Was that kind of the whole deployment? Nice and smooth, or?
Well, as I get into the story, my deployment ended pretty quick. It ended pretty quick, but for the rest of the guys in the unit, that was a tough deployment.
Yeah.
That was a really tough deployment. You know, a lot of contact, a lot of casualties. It was hard. It was hard for those dudes.
Yeah, I remember. I remember hearing some of the stories from it, man. From some of the guys there in Baker Company.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it is that just kind of that thing that we were coming from Korea, we didn't really know what we were getting into, and man, we were young,
Yeah.
Real young group of guys. So, yeah, but like I said, my deployment ended pretty quick. I think I was there maybe 3 or 4 months before I was being sent home.
What happened that got you sent home, man?
Well, this story's full of, I don't know, kind of cliche type things, but like I said, starting from the beginning. Yeah, so we're there at Habanea with a bunch of Marines, and it's the Marine Corps birthday coming up, which I can't remember off the top of my head when that is.
November 10th.
Yeah, so they're gonna have a celebration, and rumor had it that we were going to be allowed to drink, and that they were going to give everybody there 2 beers and a shot. That was the rumor. And I think that actually did I think that actually did happen.
Wow.
Is that in 2004, I think maybe they weren't as strict with that kind of.
You probably could have
that general order number 1. But who knows? That was the rumor. That's what was going to happen. So the way it all worked for me was I was actually going to get sent home pretty early on mid-tour leave. And I'm thinking, okay, hell yeah, I got one last patrol. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to have my 2 beers and a shot. And then next day I'm getting on the bird and I'm going back to the States and getting my mid-tour leave.
Yeah.
So life is looking pretty good at that point. So we go out and we do our patrol, and we're rolling back to Camp Habanea. And that's when my truck got hit by an IED.
What were you lead vehicle?
I was the trail vehicle. Like I said, 2 vehicles. I was the trail vehicle.
Okay.
And I think, like I was saying, is if you remember Sergeant Velasquez.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, we were both PFCs. I was driver, he was gunner. And those were the days of unarmored Humvees, and you had like the bolt-on kit.
Yeah, slap
And then
armor.
and then we just packed sandbags on the inside for a little extra protection.
Yeah.
But as light as those things were, man, those things could go pretty fast. And so that was kind of our SOP, was just to go balls out down that MSR as fast as you could. And I think my last memory was seeing a dude in one of those black man dresses just tearing ass down a street, and it kind of hit me that, oh God, this something's going to happen.
Yeah.
And that was about my last memory from that IED strike. So, yeah,
What did you find out later what you guys ended up hitting?
I think what they told me it was one of the first EFPs that they'd seen in that sector.
Good Lord, man.
Yeah. So, hitting a kind of lightly armored Humvee like that.
Oh yeah.
It didn't fall out as bad as, some of the heavier armored vehicles. It just kind of directed all its force on me.
Oh, so it went on the driver's side. It was side mounted, not underneath. Wow.
Yeah, it was side mounted. It actually came in through my door at an angle and exited through the roof of the vehicle. So what it ended up doing was we're just tearing ass down this MSR. We actually flipped the Humvee a couple times, and it kind of sucked the door in on top of me and kind of crushed me up against the the radio.
Yeah, the radio mount system. Yeah.
Yep. So, lost consciousness pretty quick. Didn't really, experience much of the MEDVAC or anything like that, because I was out of it, man. But had this weird experience where I kind of came out of it for a minute, and I'm like laying in the sand, and I'm underneath a Chinook that's like laying on its side, and I'm thinking, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
Because I'm all fucked up. I have no idea what's going on. I'm just like, well, the sand's kind of warm right now. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm just going to go back to sleep. So just closed my eyes and went back to sleep. So, the next thing I remember was waking up in Walter Reed 12 days later. So I was out for 12 days and woke up in Walter Reed. I've been flown to Germany. They were not, I stayed a couple days in Germany because they weren't going to bother flying me back to the States. I guess that they were just going to let me expire there in Germany and not take up, a berth on a plane. But
yeah,
I kept on going. And so finally, after a couple days, they said, okay, well, I guess we can send this guy to Walter Reed. So, grand total from Germany. I think I was unconscious for 12 days, woke up in Walter Reed, and was a pretty confused person.
So what ended up happening, man? What was your... Let's go back and talk about the vehicle. What did that look like afterwards? You get did anyone show you pictures or tell you, just what had happened?
I've got a picture that somebody took of the Humvee when they recovered it.
Yeah.
And it was kind of shocking to me because it really didn't look that bad. It really wasn't that bad a shape. It was just my door, the driver's door, was torn apart, but
yeah,
it didn't really look that bad. The only stories that I heard from that was that, one of the squad leaders just had a hell of a time getting that door off of me and getting me out of the vehicle, but I was out of it by then. So
what were your,
I guess all the moaning and groaning and screaming that I was doing, I can't remember that.
What were your injuries from the IED blast or from the EFP?
Well, Well, here's kind of the thing, I was telling you about having this fuzzy memory of waking up underneath a helicopter in the sand. Is that didn't know what was going on, just went back to sleep. And when I woke up in Walter Reed, I had the staff there, the nurses telling me how lucky I was. And I was like, yeah, what are you talking about? And they're like, well, an IED and then a helicopter crash.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, what are you talking about? And they're like, oh yeah, your MEDVAC actually got shot down. It took fire, made it actually onto Balad Airfield before it crashed. And I'm like, yeah, wild, dude. Are you sure? I have this fuzzy memory, but no, man, that couldn't happen. And then laying there in that hospital bed, Walter Reed with your little TV, and I could watch the news report of that helicopter crash. When it came on the nightly news and they're talking about what happened, it was like, the 14 people on it, 13 of them were killed. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, what? No. And it was like, no, that was you, dude. Technically you didn't walk away from that, but you survived.
Yeah.
So long story short that's where all the confusion kind of came in with the injuries, was that staff in Walter Reed had no idea, and even in Germany, what was the IED and what was the helicopter crash.
Yeah.
So at the end of it, it was just this huge list of injuries. And I was like, yeah, well, guess I own these now.
And what did you have, man? What were your injuries? Can you list them all?
Well,
or like the big ones, I guess?
Can list. Yeah, I usually go top to bottom because it's easier for me to keep them in order that way. But there was like a skull fracture, brain hemorrhage. Let's see, broke a collarbone, broke all the ribs on the left side of my body, broke both my arms, had a punctured lung, lacerated spleen and intestines, 3 pelvic fractures, and God. Yeah, lots of like burns, shrapnel. Oh, yeah. Gunshot wound to the back. They said that my team leader, his rifle, who's sitting behind me, probably went off and hit me in the back.
Oh, during the blast, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, my wife's listening to this and she's reminding me of stuff.
Yeah.
Found this one out just a few months ago. I still have a screw lodged in one of my ribs.
A screw?
So
from the vehicle?
Yep, that's what they say.
Good. Is that what you're going in? Is that what you're going in for here pretty soon to have that taken out?
No, they decided they want to leave that thing in there because it's too much trouble to take out at this point.
Yeah.
They were really worried at first because from the X-ray they thought it was poking into my lung, and they were worried that like if I fell down it could puncture a lung. But then they went in there, looked at it, said it's laying flat, long ways along the ribs, so I'm probably good, and it's not worth going in there and dealing with right now.
Okay.
But no, actually, I'm getting surgery on my right arm. That was actually one in the hospital that originally they were planning to amputate. My dad pretty much talked them out of it, talked them into giving me a few more days.
Yeah.
And they ended up keeping that arm. But it's a mess. So, they're going to go back in there in 2 weeks and do some work on it.
Now this is the thing that people don't get, is that this happened to you in 2004. And
yes,
you still come back. And
yep.
I mean, you're one of the squad leaders in Baker Company in the Corn Call. You know what I'm saying? From a PFC to a staff sergeant, having gone through all of that. That, Evan, is that's what makes you badass, bro. And the other thing is, like I told you every time we talk, you just have that attitude about yourself. Your philosophy of life, yours. that that I really enjoy, man. It's insightful to me. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Well,
dude,
I can't.
I just can't imagine, dude, coming back from that. You know what I mean? To keep giving.
Well, I can't claim that the philosophies are mine. I just stole them from everybody else.
Well, that's how we do it,
I
man.
had a lot of good leaders. A lot of people give me good advice on stuff.
Yeah.
I just stole from the smart people and made it my own.
Right. Well, dude, it's working. Man.
I think I told you. I think part of my mindset was that I got hurt pretty bad, and they were going to med board me right out of Walter Reed. But I had this mindset of, if I get med boarded, it means that dude that blew me up, he won.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to be damned if I'm going to let this dude win. All I got to do is go back one more time. If I go back one more time, it means I beat him.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to let that dude beat me.
So, hey, what were you?
So from there.
No, go ahead, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, from there, it was just, stealing another person's philosophy. I had a sergeant major tell me after I got hurt, he's like, okay, he sat me down. He's like, okay, look, McDonald, I think I'm a specialist at that point. And he's like, you're never going to be the smartest dude here. That's just the way it is. There's always somebody who's going to come along who's smarter than you. So you're not going to get ahead by trying to be the smart guy. And he's like, look at you. You're all fucked up. You're all banged up. You got all these injuries. Dude, you're never going to be the strong guy. You're always going to be the weak dude after these injuries. There's nothing you can do about it. But he told me, you know what you can be, though? You can be the hardest dude. And I sat there and I tried to figure out what he meant, because I was thinking hard and strong. That's kind of the same thing. But then it just kind of clicked. It was like, he's right. I'm not going to be the strongest. I'm not going to be the smartest. But I can be that dude that just, dish it to me and I'll just take it.
Well, that's the thing, Evan. I always got the impression that people drew strength off of you because if you were doing it, they had no excuses because you had been through the grinder and come out and put it all back together again so you could keep grinding it out. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah.
An example for people, to look at.
Well, if that's the case, then I'm glad I could be an example. But those dudes that we served with in the Korengal, those were good dudes.
Yeah, they were hard men. Hell yeah.
I think I said it. I think I said it to you before. Is that I looked at all these dudes. These dudes were badasses. And I was just lucky to be there with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I hope some of that rubbed off on me. So.
Well, I'll tell you this, man. Having young folks around me, for pretty much more than half of my adult life, it kept me young and kept me on my toes. You know what I'm saying? Because you get some people that come in there and they're fired up, and you're like, this dude here wants my job, man. You know what I mean? It's like, man, I gotta get to work, and. And a lot of people didn't do that. They just kind of let that youth kind of overtake them. And then they just kind of get put out to pasture, But I refused to do that, man. I had to stay in the game. So, yeah.
Oh, no, I totally understand what you're saying. My thought on that is a little bit different from yours. But no, I got what you're saying.
Now, what's your thought on it, man?
I guess my thing is like, especially when I hit E6, I was looking around at these dudes, these E5s and some of the senior E4s, and I was just looking at the abilities that they had. These were just awesome dudes.
Yeah.
And, I guess my whole philosophy was, I know these dudes are going to go farther than me. I know that these dudes are going to be somebody, they've got abilities far beyond mine, and they're going to be somebody one day. Mm-hmm. And it just thrilled me so much when they got promoted, when they stepped up, when they went on to do these great things, So, it's like, it's keeping you young because you're trying to keep up with them. So I got that. But for me, it was kind of like, when these dudes, ended up, going on to do these things that I would never be able to do. And it like just made my day,
What?
I don't keep in touch with these guys as much as I should, but when I look and I hear that this guy who used to be, he was a private when I was a sergeant, and then he was my team leader when I was a squad leader, and now he's a sergeant first class.
Who's that?
Oh God, there's a couple of them. I think didn't Flynn make his 7?
I don't know. Flynn hasn't friended me yet.
So this dude Flynn.
Yeah.
This guy Flynn, when he came to me, he was a private, and he had a counseling packet like you wouldn't believe, like a New York City phone book.
Yeah.
And I was 100% sure this dude's getting the boot. There's no way he's going to make it. And, I butted heads with him for quite a while, but eventually, he turned it around, and you remember him from the Korengal.
Yeah.
Dude was solid.
Yeah.
And he's still in. He's still going strong. I mean, he's still in there. He's still fighting the fight. I don't know. You probably didn't know this. He beat cancer, and he's still in.
Really?
Yep.
Dude, I had no idea. Like I said, man, I've got a friend request, out there, but we're not friends, not yet.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, man.
I'll reach out to him. I'll make it happen.
Yeah, have him reach out, man. I'd like to talk to him. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, we had old Bolstelman on here, Tyson. He was on here last.
Listen to that one. That was a great one.
Last Friday. Yeah, he's a good dude, man. He's a good dude. He is. He takes it. I mean, it's. I can imagine that there's probably quite a few folks like around him that are like, oh, what the hell's he doing? He's doing this, he's doing that. But the whole thing is, it's his system, man. And he's got, he really does have like a golfer's mind, the way he like approaches things. And he's got it down. He's got it figured out, which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Pretty cool. Yeah, but
I absolutely loved what he was saying about playing your own game.
Yeah, man.
That's great.
And the thing is, I would have. I would expect that. I would expect somebody to come up with their own, their own thing. I just never saw the golf analogy. Even though as soon as he started talking about when I let him have the week off to go practice, I totally remember that he was a golfer as soon as he said that. So the memories just came right back about the whole thing. And it after then, it made total sense that golfing, would be, the fabric that got him back into, just living a normal life, like he did before. So it's good stuff, man. Good visit.
Oh,
good
great.
Visit with Tyson.
Oh, yeah.
Good visit.
Yeah, it was a great show. I think, he was one of those people. I didn't spend that much time around him. And so, I remembered the name, but I couldn't remember much about him. But then listening to that show, as soon as I heard his voice, I was like, oh yeah, this guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this guy. I remember him. Yep.
Yeah, you know what, Evan, man, I don't know about you, but every time after about the 3-month mark where, we would get somebody new, I'd be like, man, it's going to take them forever to get up to speed. It's going to take them forever. Because for starters, we came from Colorado, so we were already elevation. We were good. So we hit the ground and we just started running and kept going. And we're getting, these new guys. But I can only think of maybe like one or two that never got it. Most of them just jumped right into it and just the patrol schedule, just you got in shape. You know what I mean? which was nice. Of course, we had OP1 too. You know, if you want to train a little bit, you could run up to that, come back down, do that a couple of times. So,
well, one of the distinct memories I have is when we first got there, and I can't remember the unit we took over from. Was it First ID? I can't remember.
First Cav.
But those dudes, they had been there already a whole year, and we'd go out on patrol with them, and we'd smoke them.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, hey, come on, dudes, you guys have been here a whole year. You should be used to this.
Right.
And we're out there on patrol, just blowing them away.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, it really comes down to, your preparation. Obviously, I mean, if you don't come in physically fit, ready for, for the go, because within the first month, you're degraded already. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
You're not as good as you were the very first day you got there. I mean, it's a slow process, but it speeds up much quickly as you get farther down. But you got to come in as good as you can possibly be if you're going to survive, especially that environment, man. It's tough. Very tough.
Oh yeah. You know, that was rough, you know. As far as the injuries go, let's see, my second tour, I got to be completely honest at this point, is that I kept myself going with a lot of drugs. You know, fighting those injuries. Our battalion surgeon was giving me pill cocktails just to keep me going, you know.
Yeah.
But that really wasn't working for me. And that tour in Afghanistan, you know, was like, okay, well, this isn't going to work. I can't be sucking down freaking pain pills every day out here in the Korengal. Yeah, maybe I can get away with it in Baghdad, but I can't do that in the Korengal.
Yeah.
So that was going through that. That was pretty rough.
And who else did you have? Another squad leader that left early too, didn't you? Out of the Korengal?
Yeah, Flo. Sergeant Flores left early.
And he had that mesh, his hernia. The hernia they repaired or something, the mesh. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. That's another hard dude, man. He stayed in the fight for like 6 months, just like, no, it's okay. And then it just got to the point where there's no way he could have stayed in country. And we had to send him, and he did not want to go. He did not want to go.
Kicking and screaming.
I know, I felt so bad, dude. I mean, and I totally knew the reason why, and that's why it was easy for me to be like, just suck it up and go get fixed. You know what I mean? But I could feel it.
Yep.
I could feel his heart breaking, you know, from because he's given up his guys. And that was tough, man. That was tough.
Yeah, I could sympathize with him. I know where he's coming from, because I think that, you know, he got sent home, and I think that was kind of his moment where he knew that, you know, this is probably the end for me.
Yeah.
You know, this is I'm not going to be able to do it anymore.
Yep.
You know, and I think I can sympathize with that. After we got back, I was sent to Camp Shelby, Mississippi. And it was at Camp Shelby. You know, I had a couple surgeries there at Camp Shelby, and, you know, I was like, yeah, you know, I love this thing. I love it, but, you know, this is probably it for me.
Yeah.
So I could sympathize with him.
So what, man, are these surgeries here? Is this going to be done, man? Are you going to be done with that blast, dude? Leave that thing in the past, or are you always going to be dealing with some kind of surgery of some sort, repairing something?
Well, I think at this point I've accepted the fact that it's probably going to be the rest of my life, going in and just chipping away at all this little stuff, putting the stuff back together again. It seems like it's a reoccurring thing every 2 to 3 years. And like I was saying, I've got this surgery, and then, you know, that's going to be a 6-month recovery time. And then right after that, going in for another one.
And they're doing
another 6-month recovery time. And then after
shoulders,
that,
right?
go in for another one.
And this is shoulders?
Yeah. Right shoulder, then left shoulder, and then left forearm.
Okay. I'm gonna make it out there, man. I'm gonna make it out there and hang with you a little bit. It'll probably be on the second shoulder. Can you handle that?
Yeah, right on.
Okay.
That'd be great.
I'll see what I can do on the first one, but definitely by the second one. All right.
Yeah.
Maybe I can help you out
Right
a little
on.
bit. Give your wife a break or something like that for a few days. I mean, I'm not going to wipe your ass or nothing like that, but we can hang out, and you can drive me crazy instead of her. She can go and do whatever. So, but no,
I drive her crazy. That's for sure.
Well, the thing is, from what you're telling me, you know, she enjoys your company, so she's probably quite used to that. So it doesn't affect her. But Sherry wants to get away. I'll come out there and hang out. You can tell me some more.
Yeah.
You're kind of like my Buddha, man. You know what I mean? You're kind of my sage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is,
I don't know.
You say things in certain ways, and I'm just like, okay, Evan, I hear what you're saying, and that it's like okay, I get it. And the nice thing is, man, it's like, you know, I've got to get these different perspectives, because that's what it is. It's like we're, you know, as a veteran community, we're so diverse. We've got so many different ways for us to come out of our military experience, either, you know, unfazed and we play our own game, or we come out beat up, banged up, and every year is something new, but yet we're just gonna hit it with some tango. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So when when you drop that kind of stuff on me, man, that's something else that not only from your episode, this one and the next one, where veterans are going to get a chance to hear this and, you know, and gain something for themselves. I mean, it does it for me too. So that, I mean, you are the company you keep, man. You know what I mean? I enjoy my company. You're good company, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Good people. Hell yeah.
Well, thank you. You know?
Yeah.
I tell you, you know, whether it's tango or anything else, you know, you find that thing. And for me, I go dance, and the past doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You can't think about the past. You know, the future doesn't matter. You know, you can't think about the future. You're just there in that moment,
Yep.
in that 3-minute song, and you're just living in that moment. And all that bullshit just goes away, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So, whether it's tango or something else, you know, listening to Mark Manila, you know, it might be kayaking.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
Find that thing. Find that thing that takes you out of the past. Take that thing that makes you not worry about the future, and just live in that moment.
Yep.
Enjoy that moment.
Now, are we gonna talk later about extending that moment into deeper into your days, into other moments and other moments? Are we going to talk about that one day? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I like that. That's the trick.
Oh,
Evan,
yeah.
that's the trick, man. It's pulling out more and more of the tricks, the hacks that we're using. Each veteran's using that may work for another one. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. There's a lot of tools out there. You know, maybe one tool is not going to work for you.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, you can find one that will.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Well, hey, brother, we're running up on 50 minutes, man. Do you you got anything to say to the listeners before we close her down?
Well, I think I might have thrown that out there before, but you know, any veterans in the Eugene area, you know, hit me up. I got you. I got you covered. Try something new. You know, to anybody out there not in the Eugene area, hey, your wife's going to love tango dancing. Give it a shot.
Hey, anybody, if you're looking to get into it, reach out to Evan and ask him some questions. Ask him some questions. I actually, Evan, I'd like to see you maybe start a veterans tango group, something like that.
You know, I would absolutely
cool.
love to do that. Would love to do that. But it's just one of those things, I think, that You know,
Hey, what are you going to do?
most people,
Are you going to do the one-arm tango? Is there a one-arm tango? Can you still tango with your arm, your shoulder healing up, or are you going to be on the sideline?
oh, you know, that's going to be a challenge. I'm still trying to figure out how to make that work.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to make it work though. I'm going to make it work. I just have to figure out how.
Yeah. Well, hey, keep us abreast of that, because there might be veterans out there that they have a shoulder problem that it's like they're always in recovery. If you figure out a way to tango, you got to share it with them. You know what I mean? You got to share it with them. Great.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, Evan. Well, hey man, we're gonna have you back on. We're gonna get your song out there for everybody, man, because it's a great story and something everybody can learn something from. But enjoy the rest of your week, brother. And
I sure will.
This cool weather, though. I mean, at least you're going to be down during the wintertime. You said you didn't like it when it's all rainy and stuff. Or at least you won't be out there getting soaked. You just be out chilling in the house.
Yeah. Yeah. But whether it's working this job or being in the military, you know, there's one part of you that always wants to be in the shit, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So take a little break, get some recovery, and get right back at it.
Nothing wrong with that, man. Take it in stages.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Evan. Yeah. Hey, thanks for coming on, brother. And we will, I'll talk to you here in a few days, probably.
All right.
I think we've been talking a couple times a week. Yeah, brother. Yeah. Hell yeah. All right, man. Enjoy your week and stay safe, man.
Oh, yeah. Take it easy.
All right, brother.
Yep.
Hey, everybody. Hey, that was Evan McDonald came on. Little co-host here on Monday Mandatory Motivation. I know it doesn't seem like much motivation. Young man goes through an IED blast, goes through recovery, but I'm telling you, that's motivation, folks. When he was in Germany, they had him alive, expected not to live. And he was leading young men in the Korengal Valley, Baker Company. That's motivation, folks. Listen to this episode. Evan's he's got some great information to put out. He's a solid American. He's doing amazing things out there. And leave some comments, share, subscribe, and everybody have a blessed week. All right. Catch you later. Heart of a Volunteer, copyright 2019, baby.